Hey there, fellow YouTubers and speed demons. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive in head first. That was a little too much. I didn't need to go that far. Today we're going to dive in head first. 5 mistakes that novice riders make trackside.
Mistake number 1. Over-eagerness, too much ego-ness syndrome is the number one. A lot of riders at 8:45, 8:50 in the morning are ready to break the track record, and it's like, take a breath, breathe in, breathe out, calm down, let's warm up to it instead of bin it in the third turn. There's no rush. There's no need to send it first session and potentially have a very, very high possibility of crashing your motorcycle. I've been there. Don't do that. I've seen it happen multiple times. Hey dude, looking for a bump. 2 seconds later, he's in the gravel. I'm like, well, I'm not bumping you now, obviously. Build up to it. You have time. The track days are long. PRE is 8 sessions, 20-minute rotations. By the end of the day, there's very rarely many people I see that are still doing the last couple sessions. After lunch is a better time to try to look for faster lap times. There's more rubber laid down, the sun's baked on the pavement already. I wouldn't go immediately after lunch, especially if you eat a lot. Sometimes I get a little bit tired. But again, it depends on what you eat. So just take it easy, you know what I mean? Like break the lap record after lunch, and that way you can use the morning to warm up to it, get the rust off, feel out the conditions. Number 2. Is ignoring your body position. So a lot of riders are asking about line choice, they're asking about corner entry, corner exit, the apex, and these are all good to have a fundamental idea of, but if you don't know how to ride your motorcycle, start building up to getting faster and quicker, you're going to have poor habits. And so the line choice isn't going to matter as much if you don't already have a fundamental down with your body position. That means your feet. That means your butt. That means your upper body, your head, where that's positioned. Don't be a lazy rider. I see a lot of riders like they're riding on a sofa or a lazy boy, just kind of just chilling, not moving around, very upright. Like, you're not on a couch, you're on a race machine at a race track. And so it requires a little bit more of an aggressive body position. I'm not talking about dragging your elbows and helmet, but a little bit more off to the side, a little bit more down with your upper body and head into where the mirror would be, for example. And that not only looks cool, but it also helps with stability, lean angle, corner entry, corner exit. It's like motorcycle yoga. And it starts with the foot placement. The foot placement is critical. It's the root to your body. So you set your feet up right, sets everything else up a lot easier. I have a couple videos on footwork and body work that you should check out if you're curious about it. When it comes to body positioning, just do it in small amounts, incrementally. And so a little bit of the butt cheek off to the side. You don't need to hang both cheeks off to the side. Goodness gracious. Number 3. Is target fixation. Look where you want to go and build the habit of scanning to the next reference point quicker and quicker. Get comfortable with seeing things in your peripheral vision and start scanning towards the next reference point, keeping your eyes ahead. If you look further down, things come at you so fast that you've already passed that point, versus if you're looking a little bit further ahead, you have now time to react with the motorcycle and see other obstacles ahead. And you have more time to react if the rear tire starts stepping out or if your front end starts pushing. Also, don't get caught up behind someone. There's been a lot of moments that I myself and I have seen someone close in the gap substantially to the rider in front of them, then they get right behind that rider and they can't seem to pass it. They're very frustrated. They've target fixated on that rider, and so they can't get around, whereas that rider was further ahead. They were looking further ahead, and so now that they've target fixated, they're unable to carry that same speed. And so again, it's retraining the mind not to target fixate on what's in front of you. and use that peripheral vision to see the rider in your peripheral vision as you're still looking at your reference points. And that'll make it a lot easier to go around that rider. The fourth mistake, skipping pre-ride checklists. You want to check the vitals on your motorcycle just to make sure everything is functioning well before you flog it out for a day or two on the racetrack. So you want to make sure you've had a recent oil change, tire life is good, you have enough fluids, your fluids are all topped off, your brake fluid isn't too old, brake pads aren't too old. All the typical maintenance is done before you get out to the racetrack. Same goes for yourself. You want to make sure that you pre-hydrate, hydrate, and then hydrate after the event to make sure that your body is taken care of and you can perform at peak performance. Once you start riding for so many hours in that suit, I sweat like crazy. Case in point, dumping buckets here in this track day, especially when it's a toasty one. I just sweat a lot. And so making sure that you're hydrated well and taking care of your body, stretching, making sure you keep your core temperature cool. I created this checklist. I'll put it in the description below, or I'm not really sure how I will. Maybe it's something that you guys don't care about, but this is kind of a checklist I've been working on. Maybe it's something that might interest you. Comment below if it's something that you might want. The fifth tip that I see a lot of novices mistakenly do is not having fun. I know it's a little overwhelming when you get to the racetrack. There's riders flying at 180 miles an hour, dragging their knees and elbows, lots of sounds, smells, sights. And so we sometimes get a little overwhelmed and we just focus on all this negative things that aren't going right, like our lap times or that we're not dragging our knees. And we somewhat forget the basis of we know how to ride a motorcycle out there. It's not any different. It's in a closed location and it's a safer location, but in the end it's essentially an evolution of riding through the curves in a mountain. And so don't get so caught up on a number that it ruins your day. Have fun riding your motorcycle. What we do is very special. There's not a lot of people that get to experience riding a motorcycle on a closed circuit, and so enjoy that. Use that time period to learn and not get frustrated about what's not happening and what's not working for you and what you're not doing right. Focus on what you are doing right and focus on the fun that you're having out there and how special it is that you're out there. If you found any value or entertainment, be sure to use your clutch or throttle hand to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future motorcycle content. There you have it, a quick and easy video about 5 common mistakes I see novice riders do at a track day.
It's all about the bread.